Okay, students, welcome to this section of the video tutorial. In this part, I will be teaching you about PHP functions. Right. So let's get started with what is PHP functions and what it can do, and what sort of benefits that we have by using functions, and why do we use them, how to define them, how to call them, and the syntax-wise everything that is necessary. I'm going to teach you. After I finish teaching you in English, then I will revise the things in Tamil as well as in Sinhala, right? Alright. First thing first, right? You should understand that is for my reference, I'm keeping it. Right? So I'm going to teach you how it's done, right? It's not going to be a very lengthy lesson. It's going to be a small lesson. If the lesson finishes earlier, we can start the next lesson as well. Alright. So when you are writing your programs, right, let me explain it this one to you. When you're writing your programs, there are plenty of times you write the codes like this. Sorry. You write instructions, a lot of instructions you can write. Keep on writing the instructions like this. Now the thing is, what will happen is, right, okay, what will happen is, there can be a situation where you want to do a calculation, or you want to perform a task. Let's say it requires you to write about 15 lines of coding. You do that work and you have finished the work, and you are again further executing the program down, and here you are coming across another place where you want to do a similar type of job. Then again the same type of 3 instructions, you're going to code it again. Okay, then when you're going further down, right, when you're going further down in the program, unfortunately you are again coming across a place where you are requiring the same type of task to be done again. So you will do that again, and you will do that again. So you are coding 12 instructions, another 12 instructions, another 12 instructions, altogether 36 lines of coding you will have to write, right? So this part does the same thing for you, but you are wasting your time and you are writing a lot of instructions to do the same thing again and again. This was the situation in earlier days when we were creating programs, but when we were creating programs using something called modularized approach, what we do is, we can break these things into small chunks. We can break some sections into sections called methods, or we can call them as functions. When we organize our code under a section called functions, we can simply reuse the coding. We can ask the computer to call that function, and we can ask the computer to get that thing done. Alright, so this is just an introduction for what do you mean by functions, and why do we need the functions, and what we can do with the functions. Please do understand that Python programming language comes with a built-in lot of functions, and they will be really beneficial for us to use them, and some of the functions we have already been using them in our programs, right? Alright, okay. I'm going to pause this one. Alright, so now I'm going to explain you with the sorry, I'm keep on saying PHP, I'm sorry, with the Python coding, how we're gonna get the things done, right? Okay, let's create another program here. This is actually the chapter 7. In between we have 3 chapters. I have given the notes for you. If you wish, you can learn them. If you wish, you can skip them. That's totally up to you. So I'm going to create chapter chapter 4, chapter 7. This is about functions. Let's say functions dot py Python, right? Okay, so the code is available here, as I'm always doing. Let me add the comment for you so you know what it is, what we are doing it. So we are learning with functions. Now give me a second, then right, so you can see, if you read this one, you will better understand this. So I have given the enough notes for you what is necessary. Functions. A function is a block of code which may run when it is called. Now we're going to create that part. Function is going to be a small piece of code that can be called. You can ask the computer to do that part. You can ask the computer, okay, you perform this operation. That's what it is. Okay. In Python, we do not use parentheses and curly braces. Okay. We use indentation with tabs or spaces, right? So when you are creating this one, normally in C, C++, Java, Python, PHP, JavaScript, we make use of things called curly braces like this, or sometimes we use these things, right? Here we don't use them. Here we're going to use only this. Here you can see my cursor is over here. I can press the space bar to the left side, or I can press the tab key and I can start the code in. So that is the method that we're going to follow. Now just watch this, what I'm going to do. We'll see how we can first of all create a function. The function that I'm creating first is not going to do something very useful. It's going to explain you what actually a function can do and how to define a function, how to call a function. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to write a command called def, stands for definition or define, right? Def, we're going to write def. Then you will say the name of the function, right? You will give the name of the function. Then you have to use a colon, not a semicolon, colon. It's a must that you use open close parenthesis even if you are not expecting to expect a parameter. In this case we will get a parameter also. I want to say hello, right? Say hello. It will say hello Sam, hello John, hello Kevin, hello Hiran, hello Mala. It will tell like that when we use this one. So I'm coding it. Now you can see when I press the enter key, carefully watch that there is an error in the command because we have not given any instructions for the function. So the function still it is not finished. So I'm going to press the enter key. Then what I'm going to do, you can see there is a gap here. So if I write the code here, it's going to be wrong. I need to maintain that gap. So I'm automatically going there. 4 spaces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 4 spaces are there, right? Right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the command to output something which is print. You simply use the print command and open parentheses and you can say name. Name is the value that you took in the function, right? You say function definition or def space name of the function, usually with parameters, right? Most of the time when you want to do something, you will send a value in. Now this is how the function is created. Now by looking at this one, you can't tell how this is going to display some real value. This is how the computer should do the work, right? Okay, that is creating the function, right? Now let's see how we can call the function, right? How to call the function, right? Let's say calling the function. Now you can see in line number 7 and line number 8 we have created and finished the function. Actually I can go to this side. So I'm going to write a command like I'm going to say hello, and within this say double quotations, let's say John Doe. So this is someone's name. When you say John Doe, that is someone's name. So we say hello John Doe, right? Right. Apart from that, I'm going to write this one. Last week I told before that I used how to use F formatted strings. So I'm going to use something like this, a comma, and I'm going to say hello all these things we have learned. So it's going to put the word hello in front of the name John Doe. Okay, so if I run this program, you will be able to see the output, right? Okay. Actually I uninstalled my uninstalled my VS Code and I properly installed it, and I have installed the run a extension to this, so I can right click here and simply run the code here, not like last week. I don't have to worry like this. See, if I run, you'll see the output easily coming on the screen, and I have installed this into the C drive itself, okay, where the operating system is. You can see hello John Doe, it comes. Now this is how we call the function. Now it does this work for you. Alright, now let's say you want to say hello to another person. Just say hello. You just pass in the name that you want. Let's say Hiran, right? Then we'll say hello Damit. Okay, we'll say hello. For all these people it's going to say hello, right? So let's say Indika. Say hello Ravi. Okay, now if you give like this, and if you run this program, it'll each time when you say hello, it's going to execute this code. It's going to go and execute this code. If you ask the computer, okay, run this function with this value, it's going to execute this code. Run this function with this value. So if I run this one, actually I'm using the function for 5 times. You can see hello John Doe, hello Hiran, hello Damit, Indika, as well as Ravi. So that is how it is working, right? I hope you understand that a function is a small block of code with a name. Usually we have to use a verb for the function. Usually the function can accept a value which is called a parameter. During the runtime, when we are using the function, we can actually give a parameter so that this function can use that value and do its work. It can whatever the work it has to do, it can do that, right? Okay, so that is what the basic idea about the function, right? Alright, let's proceed with the class. Alright, okay. Okay, the student count is not bad today. Okay. We saw how to create a function, how to call the function. For learning easiness, I'm going to have these things. Let me keep it commented, so that when I'm demonstrating the program, it will be easy for you to see the output on the screen, right? I'm just leaving one command for you. Other things I have kept it commented. Alright, let's move on to the next part, which is we learned how to create a function and how to call a function. So after that we're going to learn let's create a function with default arguments, right? After doing this one, I'm going to show you a small calculation and I will explain that for you. Default arguments means in case if you do not give a value for the function's parameter, it's going to automatically use a given value, automatic value. That is what is called a default arguments. So this is done like this. I'll keep the code scrolled up like this. Let's say def stands for definition, and you need to give a function name. I can use the same function, but you know, it's already defined above, so that can cause trouble, right? Because if I say hello, and if I say name, and you know, we already defined this, so that can cause a problem, right? Okay, so here also we have defined it, here also we have defined it, so there is no difference. So I'm going to say name is assign the value, name is assign the value. I'm going to give unknown, right? So it's not set yet, it is not set. So if we call this one now, say hello, and if you just leave it blank, now see, I don't give any name, right? And when you run this one, you will get hello unknown, because we haven't given any value. Okay, but if you give a value, that it can display the value, no problem. Say hello, let's say Kevin. I didn't give Kevin earlier, like this, right? Let's say, see, If these two names are confusing for you, let me change this one. Let's say greet the person. Okay, let's put greet the person. Okay, so we don't have say hello. Say hello, it's a different function, we have it up. Here we have greet the person, right? If you don't, we can just give a name like Sam here, and let's run this one, and you can see first one says hello Sam because I did not give a value here, right? This will say hello Sam, okay, but this one will say hello Kevin. That is the difference between those two methods or those two ways of doing it, right? So that is how you create a function with default arguments, right? So what you simply do is, for the parameter itself, put a equal sign and you type a value and keep it itself, so it can be used in case if you don't give the value, right? Okay. Well, that's done, right? So I'll show you another function for you how to create. Now this function, I'm going to show you how you can return a value, right? So with this one, that part is going to be over. Function let's say which returns a value. Okay, so I'm just adding the notes for you in the source code itself, so it will be useful for you when you're studying by looking at my video. This time I'm going to write another function. Def, and we say when a function is returning a value, I'll tell you what is returning a value. We'll say get sum in the sense total, right? Get sum. Okay, so I'm going to write here, actually I need to tell what are the numbers. I'm going to give two numbers and get the total of them. Let's give num1 comma num2. Now I want to have the total of these two numbers, right? Then I'm going to write a command, right? So total is assign the value num1 plus num2, right? Then we say return total. Okay, right, that's the command how I have written. Now I'm going to call the function. In my program I want to have a total found. Okay, I want to have a total found. Let's say x assign the value 5, y assign the value 10, z assign the value x plus y. Now this is the finding the total part, and we say print z. Okay, so you can say right, so total of 5 and 10 is, it will say 15, right? If I run the program here, students, please watch, there is no function I am using. There is no function I am going to use. I will make use of get sum in the next run. Watch this. First I'll just run this one and show you. When we run that one, you can see total of 5 and 10 is 15. It's coming. Alright, okay, good. Now you can see z is getting a value by getting added x and y. That means I have manually done the code, right? We have created a function which can actually add two numbers together. Now you might think why we have to write a program to add two numbers. It's pretty easy, but this is the concept, students, how to do a simple work, right? So adding two numbers, if that is what you want to do, we can get it done. I can do a pretty complex calculation here, then we will be having to focus on much more on the on the calculation part of the program, not in the concept or not in the syntax of it. So I want you all to focus more on the syntax part and how we can actually do this part. Right, now let's say, what if I want to assign the value not like that. I want to assign the value of z from, let's say, get total, right? Let's say get total, we'll just simply say x comma y, right? So you just give two parameters because x and y are two parameters. So here you can see, oh, it's not get total, it says get sum, right? Let's say get sum is the function. So it takes two parameters, x and y. X is representing the value 5, y is representing the value 10, because these two are variables. We have already learnt about that. Okay, so we have done that part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run this one and see whether we can get the same output. That's pretty easy. You see, it gets the output. Right, now in another place, let's say you want to find the total of another number. Let's say q, assign the value. Let's say you want to add 120 with z. Now you say get sum z comma 150. So this is going to add whatever the value that you have in the variable z, and it's going to add 150, because this same function going to be called. It's going to do the work for you. And if you print the value of q, right, now let's run that and see. There we go. You can see the value of q is 165. I hope you understand this part well. Is it clear? Let's do another type of a function, something which is a little bit useful. Let's say whether if you want to find the area of a circle, we all know that the formula is 5r square. That's how we do that, right? So let's see how we can build that part, right? Right, so I'm going to type def, say find area circle. All you need to give is the radius. You need to give the radius, right? Now I'm going to say area is assigned the value 22 divided by 7 multiplied by radius into radius. Okay, so we have written it like this, 22 divided by 7 into radius, that's the formula. So we have found the area of it, and if I want, I can return the value. If I don't want, I can just print the value. I'm going to print it from the command itself. So I'm going to say area of the circle which has a radius of is area. So I have written a small command like that, right? Now what we got to do is we need to test the function, right? Okay. So let's test the function. So when you want to test the function, you type directly you can give find area circle open parenthesis. Within this one you can give a value, let's say 2.5 is the radius, and you can run this and see what value you will get. Area of the circle which has the radius of 2.5 is 19 point etc etc etc. Very accurately it has given. Okay, so it's very accurately given, right? Now say there's a calculation going on nicely like this. Let's say you want to find an area of another one. Find area circle 5.9 this time. Okay, 5.9. And let's say you want to find area circle of another one, let's say 1.36. All these things possible, right? Now when you run this, see there what's happening, this part. So different values have got displayed here. The other idea what I was telling you earlier, it is very easy to maintain the code, as well as if you want you can do modifications to the program, right? Okay, There's one more thing I want to share with you, students. Now when I'm demonstrating and when I'm coding with you, I was writing the function down down down. You can write the functions anywhere you want in the program, but it is good idea you can write all the functions at the top of your script, Python script. You can write it at the very top and you can call them from the bottom, so it will reduce the confusion, because otherwise the code is not very neat for you. Okay, right, now what I'm going to do is assume that after creating the function you want to do some changes to the code. Let's say area of the circle which has the radius. Okay, I'm changing some letters there. Is something coming like that, and after this you want to put some asterisk like this. Right, let's say you want to do some changes, you can do changes like that, and when you run this code, when you run that code, it perfectly runs, and only one place you are making changes, and all the other places it is getting affected. So because we are using that one for 3 times, not like this, students. If you are doing like this so many times, you will have to manually edit the places. Here you never do like that. Only in one place where you have created the function, this is the place where I have written the function to work with the area of a circle. I will do the modifications. Okay, I will do the modifications. Let's say if you don't want any of these things, right, so just if you want to just display the value that I have typed it very neatly, so I'll keep it there, right. Let's say we want to simply print that is also fine. You just do it like that, right, and you can just execute it from here, and that will give you the output like this. So earlier it was giving like this, I'll keep it like this. Earlier it was giving like that. That's fine. If you don't want it, you want to change it, you just go ahead, change your function, right. I just commented this and added the code like this. Now whenever you are using, the code is working in this fashion. Okay, the code is working in this fashion, right. Okay, so that is one I wanted to tell you, right. I want to finish the class with a question to you, right. So I want you to do this question using the Python programming language. Try answering this question at your time. Create a program to have a Python function to calculate the gross wage of an employee when you give the hours worked and hourly rate. Your function should display the gross wage. I will copy paste this question in the chat window also. Please do this question at home. இந்த கொஷனை நான் தமிழில் உங்களுக்கு ஒருக்கா விளங்கப்படுத்தி விடுறேன், அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கிலீஷ்லையும் விளங்கப்படுத்தி விடுறேன், right. Okay, so that will be the thing for today. I'm going to stop the recording and I will see you in the next session, right. Okay.